Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Jersey and today we are bringing you the speed build of the sunroom storage area that where we're gonna put all our plants, right? So this build was built in live stream, right? You guys were there, a lot of you gave input, gave ideas, but we built something very special. But I've been getting messages that you guys would like to see it as a speedful format, and I really was thinking how to do this. So the best way I could do it is just kind of edit, because I didn't want to rebuild it, of course. That takes a lot of time. So what we did is made the speed build in the live stream. As you can see, I'm gonna be on the corner there, speaking like crazy, speaking really fast, But here we are building the sunroom, right? And I'm gonna go over my thinking behind it, the process, why the decisions that I made if you happen not catch the live stream. Okay, so the sunroom. So the main thing of the sunroom, what I really wanted in my end was a super bright room. I wanted windows everywhere. I wanted the light to come in every single directions, and we are gonna put plants here, right? So that's the first thing in my mind. So I knew I want that. So we found the windows, we put them all everywhere, and that was the initial part. Now the other part that I know I wanted out of this sunroom is I knew I wanted a lot of vines, right? Because that was what's in my head. I wanted vines everywhere because I seen these beautiful sunrooms in real life, and they have vines crawling all across the windows. Now we don't have something like that in DDV, but I kept thinking what items are here that kind of represent vines, right? So as you can see right now in this process, I'm bringing all the items that I think we can use in this sunroom that really matches the vision that I really want, the color tones that I really want. Now another thing that is to me was very important is what kind of atmosphere do I really want besides a storage area, right? So in my idea, I wanted this sunroom to be very functional, like a real place that people come in, they're working on their stuff, they're working on the flower, maybe working on flower pot, maybe doing flower arrangements. So one of the floors that I really love out of the tiles is this one that you see right now. I love seeing all that dirt in the floor. To me, that was very important to convey my idea and the message behind it. As soon as you step in, you knew this place they're working. It's they're gardening, they're working, they're doing flowers and all that. So as you can see, we brought all the items at first, everything that we could find that was fitting my vision of the sunroom, that it was not just a sunroom, but also a place where people are working. So I found this beautiful wooden of the new items, and they have all these beautiful vines, right? So we put some vines on the roof, we put in this panel with the vines across the walls, right? So at first I was like, okay, I like this, but maybe it's not enough and all of that. And then I decided, you know what, let's put them on the sides too. I think that's gonna be important, and kind of let's try to convey the message. Now my other decision was not to go all the way across, because I still wanted to see part of the windows, some windows coming from the floor all the way up, and just some of the panels with the vine going on like this, as you see it. And then it was making the decision, do I want it to be facing this end, do I want it to be together, do I have a specific pattern? So I decided to go in this route, just like this, the way we're placing them. I really like it. So then I started looking at it, and I was like, you know what we need to do? We need to change it. We need to actually make two more, and then put purple and green on one side, and then purple and green on the other side. Instead of the way I was doing it, I was like green, and then eventually purple. We're gonna move it. Now, again, this is a sunroom, plant room, and all of that. So I wanted a lot of greenery just to add a little more of this wood. So as you can see, I used this little planter with the plants and just started placing plants just in different corners just to see how that will look. And I really started to like that, and to me that was important. Now we also got all these sacks that I wanted to also represent, maybe that's dirt, maybe it's sand, maybe it's just something, and I really wanted to start placing those in different areas and just kind of tilt them in different directions so they not all look the same. And then now this decision, if you were in live stream, you know that we picked the small chest for now, because as you guys know, we only be playing Disney Dream Valley for a little over 2 months now, right? So I don't have enough Dreamlight to make the big one. There's still so much to do that I need to do. So to save the Dreamlight right now, we're gonna use a small chest. Now eventually I do want to upgrade to the large ones when I can, but for now we're using the small ones, and that was gonna be important, right? Because this is where we're gonna store the flowers, right? So now behind it, You know, I seen many houses, many storage areas, and I see what people are doing and how they're placing the flowers. And I like all those ideas, but I still wanted to bring something different, something unique that at least it also fits my vision, right? And then I decided on crates, because crates are a little taller. I really like that because the chests are lower, then you got the crates that are a little taller, right? You can still place, as you can see, flowers. So we did a little test, some flowers take all 4 space, but I really wanted to feel this just to see how it will feel. Now, the other thing was, okay, so I need to put the crates behind the chest because we're going to display the flowers, right? And I was trying to come out with a, see if I could kind of turn it. I almost wanted to go all full, go one line to the side and then in the back and then on the side, but it was not going to work. It was going to take too much space, more than what I wanted. So what I decided is just to put crates on one side right in front of this vine panel, right, the one that we got behind there. And it came out perfectly, just enough on the outside that it edged it out, and I really love that. So once we did that, we went out and put the crates, and then I found these new ones that we get, this little bookshelf with all the planters that you get from the new DLC, you know, doing the quest. You get 2 of them. Now, I tried to make 2 more. We don't have a recipe. There's no way to make 2 more. So I was a little disappointed, and you see it a little later on the video because I really want to make 2 more. So we had to do so on Johnson. But because we had to do that, we actually came out with some really cool designs and that I really ended up loving even more. So thank you so much, DDV, for only letting us have 2, because it really pushed me to make something even better in those corners. Okay, so as you can see, we're framing this area because I was working on this side. Once we knew what we had on this side, we knew we were going to duplicate it on the other side. That's part of my process. If we know we're going to work in symmetry and things looking the same on one side or the other, then I just concentrate on one side, get that side right, and then I'll move on and go to the next side. And now what I'm trying to do is, what kind of more foliage can I bring that will actually match in this area? And as you can see, I'm trying different plants, different sections, but nothing was really kicking in. So what I decided to do is, let's move on and keep working now slowly on the other side. So we crafted some items and stuff like that. Now, another item that I really starting to like in this is what you're seeing right now, this little flower pot. And the best thing about this flower pot is it's spilling over dirt into the floor that matches the idea behind this room. And that to me was such a win design, because I really wanted this floor. And now seeing the pots, as you see it, just in the ground, falling over, and you put it in specific places that it just matches with the dirt. Ah, man, to me that was the touch. And it just made it feel so believable and so real, and I started to really enjoy what we're coming up. And as you can see, I built a bunch of them. I was not afraid to use it, and that's one of those good things about items like this, you know. Don't be afraid. Just go ahead and use it, feel the idea. What's the worst can happen? You just delete them, you know, if it doesn't work, if there's too much. But I did start to put a lot of those flower pots. As you can see, we started to build crates. We're starting to duplicate what we did on one side, we turn on the other one, and slowly the room is taking shape, right? And as you can see, we're observing, I'm talking with chat, we're talking with a lot of you, trying to decide on some of the ideas that we got here. Do we got something here enough? Do we need something more in the back? Then I decided no more crates on the back. We don't need that. And what we want to do is do the workstation. This is another idea that I have. So originally I wanted to use this glass table. I saw it on another house tour and other people using these glass tables. And I really like the idea to be able to see, to also, it just lets the light and it just looks so much clear. Now the table wasn't fitting the way that I wanted. It just didn't look right, and I decided just went ahead and take it off. And eventually what we're gonna do is work with something else, something that looks really cool. And I decided to go with this type of wood right here, and then we did 3 different woods. And I really like how this actually turned out, because it makes it feel, you know, like they just got all these tables that they put together to start working, you know, just to work on this section. And then we're gonna put stuff in the top, some specific items that makes it feel like people are working. So we're gonna bring some stools, and we're trying to decide which one looks better and which one is done. And then I decided, you know what, we actually need probably another table. So eventually we are gonna get another table and bring it in here, and we're gonna work with a set of 3. Now eventually that will change and it's gonna look really amazing. So the other thing that we found in the crafting item was the burlap sack, and this really started, it's just another great item for the idea that I really wanted to do in the sunroom. And as you can see, now we're putting the table. Now another idea that came up after I saw that couch, just for a moment I grabbed that couch. That couch really started making me think, you know what? This is a sunroom, and sometimes you want a place to sit, not just to work, but to sit. And what I decided is we're gonna place a couch. Now, as we were doing chat and stuff like that, I saw this little fountain. I was like, oh, you know what? It has all the vines on the top, so maybe we can put the fountain over here, right in the middle. And we had to do a lot of tweaking. And this is something that I left in even for the speed build video. I could have just edited this out, but I think it was important to show that sometimes, you know, you have to take risks, and you have to take the idea, you have to try it out, and then it doesn't work. And then you gotta re-put everything back the way it was. The reason that it didn't work for me, and if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and keep it, you know, but it felt too close to the tables. Now, maybe if I didn't have the table, and it was more storage area in the back, you know, and just come in and be a true storage area, right? Then maybe that would look amazing, but it didn't do what I wanted, and I just went ahead back and added the windows. We got more lights, and I really like how this white furniture really makes things stand out even more. It feels more open, everything feels more, and now with the work tables, it feels like we got the space that we need, and it doesn't feel so tight once again. Now, I wanted to see the couch once again in the front, because my original idea was to put the couch in the front, but eventually I did move it back to where we temporarily put it on the side and have a nice little sitting area like that, as you're seeing. And I really like that. I think that gave a feeling, an atmosphere, because let's say you really want to come to the sunroom and maybe you don't want to work, but you're there to take in the beauty of all the flower with everything going on. Maybe it's a beautiful day, the sun coming through, maybe it's raining and you really want to hear the rain against the glass panels. And I love this idea. I love the concept, that way this came out. And I actually left the couch. It really gave it something that it was more, and it also made it more unique, and I fell in love with the idea. Now, as you guys can see it, we want to give a big shout out to our good friend Teddy. He mentioned about this rug. That is the leaf pile rug. And guys, I gotta tell you, I fell in love with this rug so fast, especially because it fit perfectly this build. You see how we put that rug, and now you got the flower pot falling on top of the rug. That makes it feel like the dirt from the flower pot is the dirt that's on the rug. Oh my gosh, visually came out perfect, the design came out perfect, and this rug was truly amazing. So eventually we're gonna order more. We're gonna place a few more rugs in specific places just to add a better atmosphere. And as you can see, we are still tweaking, we're still moving things around. We added a couple more vines, we added more vines on the top and in different corner, and slowly the room is taking shape, you know. And that's when I was like, okay, we got something here, the idea is working. And I was so happy. Chat, we're giving so many ideas, so many advice. People are motivating me to start creating, to start building something really cool so we can start to make it work. Now, so here we are. Now, once I find out, this is when I found out that I can't use. This is another stream, so we went ahead and clipped it in. As you can see, I'm wearing a different hat because that was the following stream, and I had this hat on because we had to do a star pack quest, and I forgot to take it off. So but that's when we find out that we can only have 2 of those flower bookcases, shelving. We can't make any more, at least of this moment. And if you know how to make more, please put it in the comments down below so I can know, because we couldn't figure out during the live stream, right? So I had to kind of change my design. I was a little disappointed, but at the end, the things came out better. So now we're moving things around. We're adding more vines in the back because I did feel like it still needed a little more vines in the back. I'm seeing too much of the roof, and I want the roof to be covered with green. I really felt like it needed that. And as you can see, we're moving a couple things around. And now this section here, I really wanted to frame this a little bit better. And we finally did it, and there it's framing better. We got more vines in the corner, and now it doesn't feel like we got a couple empty white gaps in the roof, but it feels more together. And I just fell in love. I really like these vines. I really like the concept of how, in a way, DDV you decorate with is it has taken me time to get used to it. You guys know, if you've seen any of the other games that I played, this is my first time decorating in such a way that is so different than any of the other games that I like to build and design in. So, but what a great challenge, what a great way. And the more you do it, it's truly true, the more you get used to it. So now, after I bought more rocks, as you can see, I'm adding another rock on this corner. I really like it. Just felt right to have a rock with a little bit of dirt, a couple of leaves behind, under the sofa, behind the sofa, that it feels like it's coming in. So now we did try to put the rock in other places that you guys suggested, but I just could not. The illusion wasn't working for me as much as other people. I know other people liked it. It did not work for me. It just didn't feel right. I didn't like the gaps in between, and especially, and I know we've seen it in the top down view when you're walking and maybe you don't see it, but I decided to keep the storage area, the actual storage area, a little more clean, just keep the dirt, but don't keep the rocks. And that's something that I decided to do because it looked off to me. It just didn't look like it was actually leaves on the floor anymore. Now, when we first put the rock list in the corners over here, when we first fell in love with it, I really like that illusion. It really works with everything that we got on top of them. But for some reason, underneath the crates, it just didn't do it for me. Okay, so the other thing is, as you're seeing, I'm working with these new planters. I really want to add more planters on the back of the wall. So we got this one that you can actually hang on the wall, and we decided to go with 2. Now all that will change a little bit later when we start adding lights, but it was such a good thing because those white columns, walls, it was a little bit like it just called too much white, and by adding this little bit of green, it really started standing out. Okay, so now we're gotta work on this corner because my original idea that I wanted to do, we couldn't do it anymore. So if you were watching the stream, you know that we kind of struggle. It took me a while to figure out exactly the way I wanted to work this, but we started getting items, we crafted a couple more items, we started to pull things in, and then slowly we started designing this. Now, as we were designing this, it wasn't working still, and then it hit me once I was trying to do this. I noticed I liked that idea, but I didn't like the color because it was not going to match the atmosphere that I was going. So I decided, you know what? Let's bring out these 2 panels. We went ahead and crafted 2 more with the vine. Continue the design, but the way we're going to do it, we're going to put one against the window and one against the wall. And as you can see it right here, and we're going to do this corner style. Now, to make this work really good, as you can see, we left a little bit of the corner actually empty, largely square, because I didn't like the way they were gonna clip with each other and touch. It just didn't look right, and it just didn't symmetry right in the area. But you know what? It worked out great. We actually were able to put it in the corner, and you see how this came out. Now this started to looking really good, and it's starting to match the rest of the room. And now we were hitting it, and I was so happy the way all of it was coming out. And we just kept tweaking, as you can see, we're adding a couple more planters over here just to add a little more greenery on top of this wine. And don't forget, one of the reasons that I really like this wallpaper, it really elevated the light, because I really wanted this room to be light. We did try different wallpapers in the beginning, but we ended up just keeping this one. It was more brighter. The sun bounced really well, and it just looked perfect. Now, I wanted to add some shelf, and then this is my first time building shelves on the DV. And then I found out that you can only put it in this particular level. I was planning to do this shelving wall that I really wanted to do and put a bunch of stuff on the shelf. But to, live and learn, I didn't know that we could do this. So now in the future, when I'm designing, I know that the shelving, you can only put it in a specific level. It's a little disappointing with so much freedom that DDV is giving you, especially how you put lights and all that. And it's only letting you put the shelves in a specific location, a specific height. I think that's a little disappointing, but we're gonna make it work. Now, I did get stuck, and I left this in because I wanted to show you this little trick eventually that our good friend Jackie, one of the amazing people and members of the channel, came in and told us that if we go around the back view of the camera, going around the back view, you can actually grab the shelf. The shelves, for some reason, sometimes they get stuck like this, and there's nothing you can do, nothing you can move it. And before she came in, I gave up, And I just gonna decided, you know what, I'm gonna work around it. The shelf will be there, will be stuff, we work around it, it's okay. But Jackie eventually did come in and help us out to go around behind the shelf, around the wall with the camera and grab it that way, and that worked really fantastic, and that was a really great trick. Okay, so as you can see over here, we went ahead and added the leaf carpet on the floor, and as you can see, that corner now came out beautifully. So we got barrel, we got a bucket of water, we got burlap, we got a little radio that you know, because you want to turn on music while you're crafting, working on your bench. You know, I think that it's gonna give you that atmosphere, you know, because you're working, you need music sometimes when you're working, right? So now I was trying to do something here to hide this shelf. As you can see, I'm moving things around, bringing a little more of vine, but I really started to liking this planter. And we need more of these planters, by the way, the DV developer, because they're amazing. You know, I need more plants that are hanging like that from the planters. But I really like these planters, and what I started to do is trying to use them a little bit more. You're gonna see it a little more in this back wall later on once we continue to progress. So now, then I did find out that the corner shelving, sometimes they don't attach, and I was a little disappointed too. So okay, here we are. This is when Jackie told us how we can move it. We can finally move the shelf, and I was so happy. Then I was able to move the shelf and place it more in a place that was gonna work better, and kind of on top of the workbench, because you know workbench, you need a shelf. You never know what you want to put up there. You know. Okay, so now I want us to start designing the back wall. The back wall look really empty, and it's not good. It's not good, you know. I needed to feel alive. I needed to feel that it was part of this build, because every time we turned the camera, it felt like that wall did not belong there. And this one was a little bit tricky, because a lot of the ideas that, like I said, like I truly had, were not gonna work. So I had to adjust and keep adjusting, and it was a little nerve-wracking for me to do it on stream, because you know, you have a plan in mind and then you gotta adjust. But everybody was great in stream and in chat, and everybody was helping a lot, giving their opinion. So I found these lights, and I really fell in love with this light. They're a little modern. I think it fits the window, it fits the aesthetic, you know, and it really looked really good against this white. And as you can see, as I kind of started putting a lot of them, and then I noticed that I needed to adjust the door, move a couple of things, make sure everything is in the center. Then we needed to move the shelf, and as you can see, I'm moving some of the planters, moving all the planters around, and it just kind of adjusting everything. And that's something that we always have to do, right? When you're designing, sometimes you gotta move things around, keep moving things around. You notice something's not symmetry, or it's not working, or it's not center, and you gotta do it again, you know. And don't give up. You know, when you're doing stuff like this all the time and you're working, sometimes you may need a break. Take that break that you need. Don't ever work when you don't feel like it. Come back and work it when you're really motivated, so you always continue to work and create something amazing. Okay, so now on the top of the shelf, as you can see, we started adding a couple knickknacks, couple things that works good. And then during the live stream, we got the code, and we got the vine lamp, and then we got the table and all that stuff that a lot of people are being resetting. And I feel so bad, because during the chat, a lot of people were talking about how many times they had to reset. They had to do it 300 times. They spent hours and hours and hours resetting to get all these items. And then, you know, I get them through an email. Thank you so much, you know. And everybody wanted me to start using this item right away. So the first thing that we did, you know, is we brought the table, this beautiful table, but I didn't like it where I put it. I like the table that I had, because it was tall, and it was this gray, and it felt great in this room. But people really wanted me to use this table, so you know what I decided, and I wanted to give it a try. Once I looked, also this crafting table, the painter's crafting table, it was a little too low, and I didn't really like it there, right there where I had it first. So I moved it over here, and I realized, oh my gosh, this table is the same height as this other table. So you know what? Why not? Because we are supposed to work on flower arrangements over here and all of that. So what I did is took a table, push this one back, and now we have a beautiful set. I really like this combination. Now, yeah, we do have two crafting tables, and in the future we can move them around, you know. But at this moment now, the painter crafting table, I think eventually I will move it from here and put it in another room, because I have an idea to use that table in kind of like a painter's room. And yeah, that table may move, but for right now it looks amazing in this room, and it really fits, and everybody in chat was really happy, and it was such a great moment. And I do feel I do feel a little bad for the people that were were commenting that how many times they had to reset to get these items, and we happened to get them in an email. But you know, it was the Christmas wish that everybody wanted. Okay, so then we're working with the little the vine, that beautiful vine lamp right over here. And again, we went ahead and put the leaf rug right underneath it. We started just right kind of working on this corner, you know, and it almost makes it feel like this plant was spreading out everywhere and sending all these other vines around the room. And I'm really starting to like that so much. And as you can see, we're moving it. We kind of tweak it. I wanted to see if I could put it in a whole different position that I had in my mind, but it was never gonna work, especially because I already have vines on top on the roof, and I really wanted those vines in the roof to stay where they're at. They were already perfect. I didn't want it to move it. So eventually the vine line had to stay the way we had it, right here in center in this very position. Now, I really wanted to surround it with proper items. So as you can see, we added a little more greenery. We added a little couple more ponds. Kind of the dirt is spilling over in this little corner as well. We are putting a little burlap sack. And over here, I was a little disappointed that I couldn't put the burlap sack exactly where I wanted, as close to the vine. But we decided, I kept going on. I really needed the burlap sack to work in this corner. And as you can see, I managed to put it against the barrel, and it really gave that look, that final look that I was really looking for. Now, a couple more items. I felt like I still needed something, and there on top of the door, there was something missing. It was just too open, too wide, right? Everything's so green and everything's looking good, and it just didn't feel right. So I kept trying to look, and everybody was suggesting different items. We tried many items in this little back wall over here that I did have to edit out because there were so many we were trying. But eventually we ended up doing the little wally. We came back with the wally. We put it over there. We did a little arrangement, and that came out good. And then after all of that, we remember the door, and I didn't know how to change the door, so I did learn how to kind of change the door during stream, and that was such a big different. It really completed the room, and I can't wait till we get to that point in this moment in video. But as you can see, we tried so many items. Oh my gosh! But we ended up, there we go. We ended up putting the wally, and then what I did, I wanted to add a little more greenery, and that really helped to frame this area. And I thought we were done. We called it done and all of that, and then the one thing that we were saying, we didn't like the door, and then people were like, oh my gosh, you can change the door, and I was like, what? And we went over ahead, we changed the door, and I was like, oh no, I can't put it in. So I had to move a couple things around, kind of really bring something a little bit closer. But then we changed the door, and this is the moment. This is the moment that once we change this little door, the room was completed. You could feel it. Now, you see how we put that planter on top on the corners there? I love that so much, because it just felt like it was part of the vine, and the vines are still growing and growing around the door, and then everything, it was just coming together so nicely. And all of this, at the end, I was really happy the way all of this came through. You know, for my first official build, like official, no dream snap, no nothing, that official build it with everybody here. And these are the final touches right here. I really wanted that to feel that we have vines on top of us when we came in on the room. So we added these vines on the very top, and we found, and it actually worked out. And as you can see, look at this. You see this? And then we did the final touches, adding a couple more lights on the back wall, as you can see back here. So we grabbed a couple of those lights, we brought it over here, and then man, this room came out so much better. We added the final touch right there just to cover that empty space of white. And then the room came completed. And guys, at the end, I was nervous. I love designing. I love making layouts. I love building buildings and layouts of cities and towns and all of that. And I've never been like the best interior decorator, but after so many people that I admire, Let's Play K, Console Kato, All Stephen Gay, Jamie's Gaming, so many other people that I do watch so much, they have given me the courage, to keep going. And not just them, but also my community, chat, believing in me that my talent can not just be used for the outside, but we can also decorate the inside. And as you can see, now we're back on normal speed mode. If you wanted to hear what I was saying here, you can always go to the live stream. But at this moment in time, Look at this. The room came out amazingly gorgeous. I'm really happy. My vision finally came true. As you guys know, I work realistic, so my builds will always have a sense of realism, you know, to them. And I really enjoy how all of this came out, and I hope that you guys enjoy too. Always feel free to copy the design to the very last detail. If you want it just like they copy it, duplicate it, let me know how it came out. If you can improve it, make it better than what I did, because like always, I hope that this has inspired you to continue to play, to continue to design, and to continue to decorate. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I'll see you next time. Alright guys, see you later. Bye.